Dallas tonight, Terry Gregson, Bill McCreary, Gord Brossiger, and Kevin Collins are the linesmen. We are ready to go. Primo will take the face-off against Modano. Game 6 must win for the Buffalo Sabres to send it to a Game 7. The Stanley Cup is in the building. If Dallas wins it, they will skate the cup tonight. Played back by Dominik Hasek. We are underway. Great to have you with us. Sit back and enjoy what has been an intense and bruising series, and every reason to believe it will just go up a notch here in this game. Dumped in wide, Eddie Belfour, Dominik Hasek, the netminders. Zubov pinned up by Primo. Puck loose side of the net. Ludwig cleared it around near side. Held dumped into the corner. Schmelik able to hold it in. Played back far side. Shot save made through a screen. Rasmussen had set the screen up. Eddie Belfour, first action for the netminders tonight as he banged it away. Schmelik stepped up to try and hold it in. Reaching in for it, Sanderson got it away to Primo. His centering pass taken away. Modano at center. Mike Modano will gun that one in from center. A shot. Dominik Hasek got to play that off the blocker, and our first line changes each way.
Dominik Hasek was actually leaning the wrong way there. That was a pretty good move by Mike Modano. We know how active he has been, Hasek, in handling the puck. And he almost got caught there.
Dave Reed got taken down in the corner. Dallas controlling along the near side. Langenbrunner is going to be wide open. And a shot, Modano saved by Hasek. Hatcher come in and got the first chance. Oh my gosh. Darian Hatcher had nobody near him in either uniform.
No, the only obstacle was the greatest goaltender in the world today. And Darian Hatcher waited and looked. One of the things the Dallas Stars are doing, and it was evident when Daryl Sador scored in Game 5, you don't have to power it by Dominik Hasek. Take your time and look for a spot. Dave Reed had double coverage on him, kind of kept the play alive and tied up feet. That was Daryl Shannon playing his first game since Game 1 of the playoffs. And when it came out, Langenbrunner was able to put it across perfectly to Darian Hatcher. He settled it, got it up in the air, but Dominik Hasek was able to beat him on the play. These kind of breakdowns the Sabres can't afford, because if the Dallas Stars get the lead, we've all seen what the Dallas Stars can do with the lead.
Another face-off win for Joe Nieuwendyk. What a job he's done. Almost 60% of the face-offs he's won this playoff year. That's been a problem for Buffalo, winning the draws. 57% of the face-offs in this series have been won by Dallas. Shot in again into the corner, deflected off skates. Chaton dumped it in wide of the net. Michael Pekka in the corner, got squeezed out of the play. Puck loose, Chambers ran it up. Attempt to get it out of the zone to Nieuwendyk, succeeds. And Dallas wants to change it up right here. Near side, it is Chaton. They need him to come alive. Top 5 scores, regular season for Buffalo. 4 combined points in this series. That's been it. Guy Carpino cleared it around. Step up Patrick to hold it in, and he did. Back in behind the net, Pekka's got Chaton in front. Pekka, Chaton, and Joey Juneau on this line for the Buffalo Sabres. Dallas just looking to clear through Patrick's legs. Chased down by Dominik Hasek.
Boy, the Dallas Stars are still content to just play the puck around the wall or on the boards, get into the man-to-man battles along the boards, and then win them 3 times in a row. That is how they've gotten the puck out of their zone. Nothing fancy, just winning the battles along the wall.
That was Blake Sloan who knocked that last pass away. Sloan still out there with Carpino, deflected by Hatcher at center. Mike Keane. Keane will turn it back the other way. Hull and Benoit Hogue, who played in the last game, both are back in this one. Tony Herkus, who had played some in this series, a scratch with those 2 back. Modano moved over. Pochek held it in. Patrick came back to get it, cleared it around the near side. Held in again. They'll just dump. Benoit Hogue got it. Sent it over. Sanderson the intercept. Jeff Sanderson behind the net. Sanderson trying to turn it up. Gets turned the other way, and down he goes. Modano out there. Benoit Hogue in. Shot. Another big save. Rebound shot deflected. Hatcher again. And moved up. Hatcher was there in front. 3 solid chances for Dallas. But Dominik Hasek has risen to the occasion here in the first 3 minutes. Hatcher chasing Sanderson right there with him. Sanderson, Hatcher do battle. Puck came free. Modano lost it against the wall. Cleared around the near side. Hogue did not touch it. This will be an icing.
Well, Brett Hull and Benoit Hogue were 4th-line wingers in Game 5. They've started as 4th-line wingers, but when you put Mike Modano out there to double shift him between Hull and Hogue, I'll tell you what, they don't look like a 4th line. Nothing
How about
close.
that for a veteran line, too?
You don't think Benoit Hogue is hungry? He's playing with a ligament that is still detached. He has trained hard to get back in this series. He came close on that one, and Dominik Hasek is under the gun already. Well, good sign for the Buffalo Sabres. Joey Juneau has come out here looking like one kind of inspired guy. Look at this. The hit on Chambers. But here's what's key. The Dallas Stars support the puck better than anybody in the NHL, and Carbonneau came in to pick up that puck.
What a series he has had. Guy Carbonneau has been magnificent. His 208th game, tied for 6th all-time, and a save made by Belfour, and the shot from the point. Darryl Shannon, out 19 games, is back in with the injury to Rhett Warrener. Shannon getting the chance, and he helps hold the puck in here. Michael Pekka dumped it into the corner. Dixon Ward back near side. Pekka, Ward, Vaclav Barada are on this line. Held in by Pekka, back in behind the net again. Dixon Ward looking to center. Zubov got a piece, came out in front, and taken away and moved to center. Good coverage in front of Belfour. Nieuwendyk moving it in with Reed. Nieuwendyk got stood up. Vaclav Barada takes it. Good check by Shannon. Darryl Shannon had that stand-up check. Into the corner. Dallas Reed dug it out. They got in man in front. Instead go to Zubov at the point. Zubov will take it just wide. Rebound right over Dave Reed's stick. Reed was smelling a goal because he had a big-time hole up top on Hasek, and the puck melts right over his stick.
And the most dangerous shots, high and wide and true to the boards. And Zubov ripped one that came out flat and pure, and Dave Reed just couldn't get a stick on it.
Shots 3-2 in favor of Dallas here in the first 4 minutes. Dumped in, intended for Modano. Modano gets around the D and out avoids the icing. Good play, Modano. Verbeek on the far side had it, lost it. Buffalo back at center. 3 back already as Rasmussen dumped it in. Dallas good coverage. Belfour played it around the far side. Came off the wall. Modano still up. Dropped it back. Heads up the right. Modano on the right here. They'll set D in Sador. Sador dumped it into the corner. Sador goes to get it. His pass hit the side of the net. Primo played it. Primo gets it back up and through the middle. Good play by Jere Lehtinen to hold his man out to avoid a breakaway that time. Schmelik drops it far side. We are 5 minutes into period number 1 here in game 6. Rolled back in. Sador got it right back out. Modano, a lot of ice time already. Sent that one in wide. They'll change it up right here. Into the corner. Shitnik back to get it. Shitnik, second among D in scoring, has not had a point in the last 3 games. They've had their D to rely on for offense. The Sabres have. Sloan trying to dump it ahead. Guy Carbonneau, Keane, and Sloan on this line. That will go up and over the bench, and we'll get a whistle. Scoreless here in game 6. There's Guy Carbonneau. As we said, Carbonneau's now tied Wayne Gretzky, 208 career playoff games, 6th most all time.
Gary, we talked about the rocket that Sergei Zubov launched a minute ago. I'm not sure that this didn't hit the post. Guys have been looking at it in the truck. It was such a laser. I thought it had gone wide and off the boards. Well, it did. You know, it did, but at one angle, take a look at this. That shot almost looked like it came off the crossbar. Couldn't really see it live because Zubov caught it all. He is the one guy that Buffalo has really tried to eliminate. They've done a good job of that. Other guys have picked up the slack. We haven't seen Zubov shoot that much.
Centering pass right into the crease. Belfour knocked it away and came free, and he got defensive help. Guy Carbonneau and Brown do battle in the corner. Curtis Brown trying to find some offense. Kicked it away. Brown had it, lost it. It goes to the point. Held in there. Schmelik tried to dump it. Couldn't do it. 3-on-3 the other way. That tough Dallas D stopping the passes. Brought back in, but offside. And the face-off will come to center ice. Good traffic in front of Belfour by this line.
Dominik Hasek, you know he's still going to wander out of his net. It's going to be interesting to see if he wanders as much with Bill McCreary reffing the game, because Bill McCreary ref game 4 here, and he warned Dominik Hasek before the 3rd period. He said, listen, I can protect you from getting steamrolled, but if you get bumped and you embellish it and fall down and you can't get back into the net because you're too far away, you're going to get caught, and I can't help you. So just understand, I'll do my job to protect you if you get steamrolled, but other than that, you're on your own. At the other end, pretty good drive to the net by Curtis Brown. As a result, Eddie Belfour, for one of the few times in this series, lost sight of the puck and had it drop down to his feet.
Skurlin put the hit on McKee on the far side. Here's Darryl Shannon with the puck. Shannon played in the first game against Ottawa, then sent out for 19. Now with Rhett Warrener gone with a broken ankle, there he is. Shannon is back in. You're asking a guy who has had a lot of time off to step in a most crucial situation, and most importantly, not make a mistake. Hatcher took the hit in the corner by Joey Juneau. Juneau apparently responding to the fact Shannon the shot wide. In fact, his team has had to read about him becoming a free agent that Bill mentioned earlier. Juneau's come up, put some good hits on in this period. They go back on top. Shannon again. His shot saved. May have hit the post. Rebound at the far side. Eddie Belfour had the angle on it, but
But I'll tell you where there is room, Gary, at times in both ends, and that is at the points where Daryl Shannon is. Boy, did he launch a couple of rockets on Eddie Belfour. Really good shots. And I, for one, just on a personal level, am hoping that Daryl Shannon has a decent hockey game, simply because he is being thrust into an incredibly difficult situation. Game 6 of the finals, and he hasn't played since Game 1 of the playoffs. That was his first one. Richard Matvichuk swung around and took a shot that looked like it hit the side of the net. He was just trying to clear. Watch this. Wow! That hit the post.
Eddie Belfour had his skate there, too, right on the post.
Yep. Eddie Belfour's motto, be ready at all times. But this is great pressure by the Sabres. People in front, using the point men. That's exactly what they got to do when they get the puck low and then Dallas's end.
Nieuwendyk won the faceoff against Michael Pekka. Again, cleared back for Sador. Sador up the near side. Shannon played a ton during the regular season, 71 games, and he finished at a plus 28, had 3 goals. So he knows what offense is. He can add assists as well. Dumped in, should be a nope, no icing on this one, into the corner. Lagenbrunner went back to get it with Reed. Shipped up by Zhitnik. Zhitnik trying to push him off the puck, can't do it. Nieuwendyk again. Sador's joined the flow down low. Dallas has got nobody back covering right now, but Nieuwendyk held it in. Dallas is sending their D. We've seen defense right out in front with Dominik Hasek. Sador along the wall to Reed. Reed looking out in front, can't get it there. Played around by Hasek. Tip out by Ward, comes straight into the middle. Reed couldn't get it. Pekka clear. Back for Pekka off the near side boards. He reaches in, couldn't get to it. Sador banged it the other way.
I agree with you, Gary. There's nothing conservative about Dallas's approach. I mean, they want to get this thing done.
They're going out to win this thing and taking chances to do it. Modano back out there, sends it ahead. Mike Modano looking to get a goal. He hasn't had one in 10, but he's tied for first in assists in the playoffs. Dallas finishing up a line change. Brought in Primo. Jere Lehtinen the hit. Shannon will have to drop it back. Modano on the check at center. So is Verbeek. Cleared back into the zone. Again, Dallas not allowing the transition game of the Sabres to come through the middle. On the fly, Jere Lehtinen trying to turn. Shannon held him off. Score! The pass came out in front and trickled in off skates. A huge goal for the Dallas Stars as Dominik Hasek thought the puck had gone behind the net. Instead, it had gone behind him.
You know, it's almost as if the Dallas Stars have spotted something in Hasek and come out here trying to exploit it, because Daryl Sador has already tried to bank one in off of Hasek from behind the net. But look at Lehtinen. He was able to gear this thing up on the forehand, and he just launched this little flip shot that had eyes. This puck had to actually get up on end. It looked like there was no room at all to squeeze between Dominik Hasek and the post. We should get a good look at it here from goal cam. Oh, baby. No room at all. Jere Lehtinen, give him great credit for the leg drive. There was the opening. The opening was off the pad. It was about a 5-inch opening that Lehtinen was able to spot, chip the puck off of. And I'll tell you what, that is a huge goal. You don't beat Hasek like that. I mean, hardly ever.
That is, for him, that is a bad goal to be scored against Dominik Hasek. But a great play by Jere Lehtinen, because he was battling off Daryl Shannon, who had him on one side. It was kind of a one-handed flip. Keane will flip this one in. Dallas leads at 1-0. And that quiets the Marine Midland Arena. A 1-0 lead, and Jere Lehtinen had an outstanding playoff year, gets his 10th playoff goal of the season. Brown brings it in. Hatcher tied him up. Hatcher goes after the puck. Outstanding play by Hatcher. Played the man and the puck and cleared it out to center.
Boy, he is so hard to take off the puck. And when he is in trouble deep, he always has support there.
Wow, 1-0 lead. Lehtinen the goal. Dallas, Guy Carbonneau off the boards. Point shot deflected to the near side. 12 seconds left to go in the period. Modano wanted to clear, couldn't get it out. Centering pass went wide as Woolley dumped it in. Played up by Hatcher. Hatcher tried to clear, could not. He got it right back, though. This one will be deflected off and over the glass with 1 second left to go. 8:09, Jere Lehtinen got the goal from Modano and Ludwig on an even strength play. Dominik Hasek, the only one buying, as he has had to make only 4 saves. Shots 11-5 in favor of Buffalo. That's the man who got one to give him a 1-0 lead. Dallas has just settled into another defensive game.
Settled into a Dallas game, haven't they?
Eddie Belfour is working on 112 minutes, 23 seconds without giving up a goal. That's what he's got right now as this period ends. Now it's the question, can the Sabres solve Eddie Belfour? Exclusive coverage continues here at the Marine Midland Arena in Buffalo. Game 6 with the Dallas Stars trying to put it away and have the 1-0 lead as we go to the second period. The first period of this game, the only one without a penalty so far in this series. Welcome back, Gary Thorne, Bill Clement. 1-0 Dallas.
Well, I think the Buffalo Sabres have to keep doing what they did in the first period, but what they can add to what they did is getting people to the front of the net. If Eddie Belfour is seeing the puck, he is stopping the puck. They're going to have to get rebound chances.
Let's see what they do in this one. The shots were 15-5 in the 11 to 5 in the first period in favor of Buffalo. We are underway in period number 2. Schmelik and Jitnik out there on the defensive pairing. Belfort the other end. Dominic Hasek watching that one go around the net. Juno didn't clear. Save made by Hasek. That one shot right through Hatcher that time. That will be flipped up and out of the zone. Hatcher tried to knock it down, couldn't do it. Just underway, period number 2, and that one's going to be whistled on the offside call. Interesting occurrence today. These are the kind of things that happen in the playoffs. The Dallas Morning News ran a story today that showed the parade route for a Stanley Cup victory celebration, obviously in Dallas. The Buffalo Sabres, as you might expect, found out about that and pinned that baby right up on the bulletin board.
You know that if Bob Gainey, the GM for the Dallas Stars, or Ken Hitchcock, the coach of the Dallas Stars, knew that that thing was going to end up being printed, they would have gone through the roof and said, get that thing quiet right now. Wow. I mean, you never, ever do that.
So that's anything to try and help motivate. Ludwig moved it in, dropped it to the point, shot deflected. What a hit on Reed. Michael Pekka just leveled Dave Reed after he took that shot. Both of them right back up and playing. McKee back in behind the net. Again for the Sabres, even with those shots. Dixon Ward, Michael Pekka, Curtis Brown, Miroslav Shatan could not get the puck on net. Among them, Pekka, one shot. Those are the leading scorers for the Buffalo Sabres during the regular season, who they're looking to get it going in Game 6. That'll be played by Sador on the touch, and that'll be whistled on the icing call.
Well, Michael Pekka is trying to lead the way. I mean, he's such a great captain. Not afraid to stand up and say what has to be said in the locker room, but he does a lot of leading on the ice with plays like this. He had dropped his stick. It didn't matter. He was going to make sure that he did some damage to Dave Reed, and he took him hard. That shows you how strong Mike Pekka is when he has a head of steam up. Dave Reed's a much bigger man, and he just was no match for Michael Pekka as long as Michael Pekka had some movement going.
You see, between years, how long it has taken to get a puck. 12 years between Stanley Cup is the record. Marcel Pronovo and Terry Sawchuk. Our New Dodge flashback takes a look at a couple of guys involved in this game who've waited a long time themselves. They looked a lot younger then, didn't they? Craig Ludwig, 1986, and Brian Skrudland, 1986 with Montreal. Tonight, they are both on the ice. There is Brian Skrudland. 13 years between Cup wins for these two if they can get it here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gary, if they win this hockey game, and right now that is a big if they win this game, they will not win this game playing it their way. They're playing it Buffalo's way, and that's why Buffalo has a chance to get back in this game. I mean, just keep doing what they're doing. And if Eddie Belfour falters once, this game is tied.
Primo trying to move it in, did. Shot, score!
Get enough quality scoring opportunities, sooner or later, you either score or you just run out of time. The Buffalo Sabres did the former. They scored. Wayne Primo, good play. Room in the neutral zone, though, for the Sabres. The Dallas Stars have not owned this neutral zone at all. The Buffalo Sabres have been the better team in every zone since about the 8-minute mark of the first period, and they finally tied it at 1. Dallas missed coverage. We had two guys over there. Carbonneau tried to come back. They both went to Keith Primo. You hardly ever see that. That tells you the Dallas Stars are not playing their game. They are out of sync right now, and the Sabres are taking advantage of it.
Stu Barnes has been one of their hottest scorers in the playoffs. He's had a great playoff year. This game is tied at 1 apiece. And it's It's rocking again at the Marine Midland. Matvichuk got it away to Modano. Modano dropped it off right side. Yuri Letnin. Letnin coming 3-on-3. Letnin whipped that one over the head of Dominik Hasek. Modano dumped it back. Pinned up Benoit Hall. Could not control. Sanderson gets it on the near side. 1-1. 26th shot of the Sabres has tied it up. 1 minute left to go in the period. Back at a 2-on-2 Modano. His shot. That one blocked out deep. Barnes turned it back up the center ice to clear it. Back on the attack during a change. Dumped in off Belfour's stick. Dixon Ward. Ward center. He had Pekka cutting. Reed trying to clear can. Shannon held it in. Shannon waited. Lost it. Look out. Neuendijk was breaking. Picked up by Matvichuk. Matvichuk. Whoop. Neuendijk was all alone at the other end. They couldn't get it up to him. Fell down as he tried to receive it, and a slashing call coming behind the play. 18-21. Barnes, third of the year, third of this series, seventh of the playoff year. Primo and Jitnik the assists.
You know, Guy Carbonneau broke his stick after the Sabres scored, and Guy Carbonneau was in the neutral zone in a pretty good spot. But he decided to go after Primo, and so did one of the Dallas defensemen. There is Carbonneau. He's going to go over here to help. There is Stu Barnes, who finds a seam and just hits it, but Carbonneau was right by. Stu Barnes at one point flew by him, was over on the left, so that left two people trying to take out Wayne Primo. And because Guy Carbonneau went over there, and also Derian Hatcher was over there, Stu Barnes found some daylight. A good attempt to block the shot by Craig Ludwig. There is Carbonneau's reaction. He realized that he double covered Wayne Primo along with Derian Hatcher, and that's what left Stu Barnes wide open.
Game tied at 1. The penalty is going to be a slashing call on Michael Pekka, 1927. See, the first player to score 7 goals for a team after not scoring for that team in the preceding regular season. There's Michael Pekka in the box. The Belfour shutout ends at 130 minutes and 44 seconds. They didn't get one the last game against him, and almost through 2 periods in this one. Off the face-off, Dallas on the power play, down to 26 seconds low in the period. Shot, save made by Dominik Hasek. Sador had the chance. Cleared up, Sador holds it in. Good play by Sador once and twice, but this time it just came across the line. Zubov waits. He'll send it in wide. Dominik Hasek stopped it a bit. Played up the near side, knocked down Neuendijk. Neuendijk looking, Langenbrunner's in the middle. In for Reed. Reed couldn't get it as it hit the side of the net. Near side boards, 2 seconds to go in the period. Out the center, we've completed 2. The hope continues for the Sabres and their fans as Stu Barnes has tied this game up after Yuri Letnin had given Dallas the lead in the first. Belfour, Dominik Hasek, the 2 netminders. Belfour has had to been spectacular, 25 saves in this game through 2 periods. The power play will be continuing here. And that could be vitally important. Off the face-off, won by Brown. The Sabres are short-handed. That will deflect up and into the seats. So a minute 24 remains on the power play for the Dallas Stars.
Well, you talk about both of these goaltenders earning their right to be in the finals. Eddie Belfour knocked off Grant Fuhr, a 5-time Cup winner. Beat Patrick Waugh, 3-time Cup winner, 2-time Conn Smythe winner. Here against Dominik Hasek, he has gone toe-to-toe. Dominik Hasek with his 4 Vezinas and his 2 Hart trophies. Dominik Hasek beat the best goals against average guy in the NHL, Ron Tugden from Ottawa to get here. Beat Byron Defoe, the shutout champ of the NHL. And he beat Curtis Joseph, who's supposed to be one of the best playoff goalies in the league.
And a shot, and Dominik Hasek hangs on. Power play for Dallas. Daryl Sador all alone at the left point.
He wanted to get in closer than that. It's just that there wasn't going to be time or room to get there. Dominik Hasek will get probably about 99 out of 100 of these. See, he was at the top of his crease because he knew that Sador didn't have any option. Some of the greatest reflexes on the planet, right here. Comparable to any of the top tennis players, top martial artists.
He's up, of course, for Goaltender of the Year, the Vezina, the award you'll be seeing on Thursday from Toronto. See that save percentage climbing up here, and you'll have to do it in the third. This has been Dallas's period in this playoff year. They have outscored the opposition 30-13 in the third period. Power play for Dallas. Behind the net, dug up Yuri Letnin, Modano on top, Zubov. He'll send it back. They sent Yuri Letnin up in front near side Sador. Sador drops it Hull. Hull goes wide side. Zubov open near. Hull shot. And ripped up and over the glass. Off the stick. Dominik Hasek saying the faceoff's got to come out the center because he didn't touch it.
Brett Hull is saying no way. It did touch him. Did touch him. But what a great passing sequence here by the Stars. It went over to Zubov, then back to Brett Hull. He took his time, cradled and ripped it. There's no question. It hit a stick, didn't it? It hit Richard Schmelik's stick. Number 42. Boy, it would have been interesting to see where this puck would have ended up had it not hit Schmelik's stick, because Brett Hull knew that he was going high to the short side.
Big advantage here because the faceoff's coming to center.
Yep.
So Buffalo got a break on that one. It should have been in the zone. Into the middle, Jere Lehtinen. Hull has not had a shot on goal in tonight's game. James Patrick tried to clear, didn't. Modano to Zubov. Power play 45 left. Zubov got his man down. Looking, Hull again. Hull, his shot blocked. Down in front by McKee. And cleared out.
Brett Hull bobbled the pass, and that gave Jay McKee time to get down and block.
Zubov will hurry it up. 30 seconds left on the advantage on the power play. Game tied at 1. Nieuwendyk, his shot. Save Hasek. In the pads. No rebound. 25 seconds remaining on the Dallas advantage. Brett Hull celebrating a chance to get back into the finals. Only father and son duo to score a game-winning goal in a Stanley Cup final game. The Hulls, Bobby and Brett.
Mike Modano looks for Brett Hull every time he gets the puck. He got it all. There was the bobble, and that gave Jay McKee a chance to roll out, slide down in front of a good block by McKee. I can't tell if Brett Hull's fighting it or not. You know that, Gary? I mean, he had that chance in the second period where we thought his best option was to shoot. Mind you, remember, he is still playing with that torn up groin.
Or ribs, or knee, depending on who you listen to. Cleared up the near side boards. Chambers held that in. Good play by Chambers. Langenbrunner behind the net. Not out. Nieuwendyk looking. Chambers near side. 10 on the power play. Over to Hatcher. Hatcher the wrist shot. Dominik Hasek a save. Puck sitting. Flip to the side of the net. Not on net. Held in Nieuwendyk. Langenbrunner down there with him. Over to Hatcher. Power play is over. Hatcher shot. Save again. Rebound. Dominik Hasek just poked that away from Joe Nieuwendyk. Nieuwendyk was ready to shoot that up over Dominik Hasek, and Hasek reached out and got the paddle on it. So they do not convert in the power play. Dallas unable to take advantage of it. It remains a 1-1 game here in the third. Verbeek put the check on. Shannon went right through it. How about Darryl Shannon? Hasn't played in 19 games. Played in only one. The first game against Ottawa, first series. 5 shots on goal through 2 periods for him. Offside, Verbeek. Both of these coaches, Lindy Ruff, 24 and 11 in playoffs, putting up big numbers. So is Ken Hitchcock, 28 and 18. Both of them young coaches in the National Hockey League, looking to win their first cup.
I love what Ken Hitchcock had to say today. He said, we're like ducks. And he was talking about Lindy Ruff, and I think this applies. He said, on the surface, everything looks calm. He said, we're paddling like hell underneath the water emotionally.
What are they doing right now?
Oh, they're paddling.
Are they ever? Played back by Zubov. 3:55 left to go here in the third period. Zubov turns it up near side for Keane. Keane batted it away into the middle. Knocked down. Played by Brown. Poke checked away by Keane to Verbeek. Keane, Verbeek. Out on this line with Guy Carbonneau. Taken back by James Patrick. Barnes cleared it out of the zone. And they'll dump it into the wide side corner. Chambers back chasing it down. Chambers behind the net. Brown right on him. Reversing to Zubov. Zubov up near side. Keane got it up the center. Only one in Verbeek. His shot blocked into the corner. They were changing. They got a piece of that one. Sanderson will take it on the hard wraparound near side. Rolled free to center. Jere Lehtinen drops it back for Hatcher. 3:15 to go in regulation. Modano's got it. Modano trying to make a move. Poke checked away by Cunneyworth. Poke checked away again. Dallas changing, so they've got guys back. Primo tried to flip it in. Knocked down. Then right back out of the zone by Matvichuk. Jere Lehtinen had it. Goes into the corner. Belfort back to play. Belfort cleared it up the near side. Primo held it in. Belfort just getting back into the net. But he got there and there was no shot. Modano take the Hull. Hull winds up, doesn't take it. Hull trying to go through the middle, can't. Played by Cunneyworth, and the net comes off the Marsh pegs. And the face-off is going to come out to center.
Yeah, Brett Hull saying, look, he pushed me right into him. Well, I think Brett had a little more control than that over his direction. 2 goals in this hockey game. The first one scored by the Dallas Stars. Just about an impossible angle by Yuri Lednin, but there was a bit of daylight. Buffalo has come back and tied it. That was Stu Barnes' goal in the second period. Ripped it over Eddie Belfour. Who's going to be the hero? I mean, if one team scores here with just under 3 minutes to go, you think anybody's going to tie it up? It's possible. But you got to figure that if somebody can get one, it's going to be the winner.
Sabres 8-1 in 1-goal games. Their kind of game. Out at center, it'll be Zubov chasing down in his own end. 2:30 left to go in the third period. Zubov circled the net, kept control of it. Michael Pekka chased him back there. Ahead, here comes Nieuwendyk. Nieuwendyk got stood up. He got screened. And that will be covered up by Dominik Hasek.
Boy, what a play by Daryl Shannon. I mean, you got to hope your timing is right. See Joe Nieuwendyk, I'm surprised if he didn't get the wind knocked out of him a little bit. Remember, Daryl Shannon hasn't played in almost 2 months, but he stepped up and really took Joe Nieuwendyk hard. Bang. And sometimes when the guy just gets a piece of you like that, kind of sideswipes you, it hurts more than if he hits you straight on. Joe Nieuwendyk is looking for air on the bench. I think that knocked the wind out of him.
Shannon has had some kind of years here with the Buffalo Sabres. Last 3 years, he's been a +23, a +26, and a +28. No other defenseman's been a +20 or better in the last 3 years than Daryl Shannon. Zador tried to hold it in, could not. Here's Joey Juneau giving chase. Juneau gets there. Zubov reached in. Poke check. Shot deflected. Good play by Joey Juneau. What a game he has played here tonight in Game 6. The centering pass with changes going on. Guy Carbonneau trying to drop it in front. Block. Comes around near side. Dallas changing it. Nobody on the near side point. Rolled up. Joey Juneau. Mike Keane put a shot on Patrick. Rasmussen and a whistle behind the play. I think a 2-liner here. No penalty with 1:53 remaining.
These guys are amazing. Both teams. Watch this hit here by Mike Keane. Wham! He took all of James Patrick. Patrick hit the ice like he had just come off the turnbuckle after that hit by Mike Keane. And the Buffalo Sabres are hitting back the same way.
Mike Keane trying to become one of the rare few who wins 3 Stanley Cups with 3 different teams. See how many veterans are out there on the ice now with 1:53 left to go in regulation. This is where the coaches look down the bench, and they love seeing the guys who've been there. Matvichuk sends it in around Dominik Hasek. 1:48 to go in regulation. Jeff Sanderson, Hull took him down. Modano had the puck. Sanderson reached in. Hull in the corner. Hull gets pinned up by Shitnik. Alexei Shitnik still on him. Modano got it back, centered it. Didn't have anybody there. D staying back. Ends up in a 3-on-3 through the middle. All the way through. Hatcher and into the corner. Barnes right behind him. Hatcher wants to go the other way. Barnes was there, couldn't get it. Sanderson with that great speed did. Sanderson pinned up by Hull. Matvichuk reaches in. Matvichuk with the puck. Matvichuk behind the net. Matvichuk dropped it. Hatcher got hit by Sanderson, but got it away to Hull. Hull straight into the middle. Knocked away. Shitnik was out at center ice. Hull down at center. Fans, of course, want to call, but with 1:07 to go, not going to get it unless it is blatant. Shot in by Modano. Wow, that went a little deeper into the pads, and Dominik Hasek won it.
No kidding. It bounced, and Dominik Hasek looked down. I mean, it almost looked like he was hoping he still had it. Mike Modano was on his side of the red line, so he was running out of real estate. Buffalo's really tightened up in the neutral zone. I mean, Dallas hardly has any room. So here came Mike Modano. It would have been icing had he missed the net, but he lofted his shot in. Watch it bounce here. That bounced and came up, what, a foot? Dominik Hasek had to be an airtight shortstop on that play.
1:02 left to go. Regulation. Right side of Dominik Hasek. Joe Nieuwendyk. He draws back. He's got Zador back at the point. Tipped away off the near side wall, though. 1 minute left to go in the third period. The key over with Nieuwendyk. Picked up Michael Pekka. Cleared it out of the zone. Rada dumped it off the wall. The intended over there. Couldn't play it. Reed just chipped it at center ice. 47 seconds to go in the third period. Near side Nieuwendyk. Nieuwendyk dropped it in. Dominik Hasek will hang on. 39.2 left in the third.
So who will be the key guys on the face-off here? Biggest face-off of the series with 39.2 seconds to go. In Game 6, a 1-1 tie. If Dallas wins, we see the Stanley Cup on the ice here at the Marine Midland Arena. If the Sabres win, the series heads back to Dallas. By a mile, the biggest face-off of this series.
Mike Modano's going to move in to take it. Modano's won 56% of the draws this playoff year coming into this game. Primo, who's won 46% this playoff year, will stand in for Buffalo. Zubov is back along the blue line. Faceoff sits in the circle. Jere Lehtinen, Modano giving chase. Primo hanging on to it. Zubov turned back. Hull looking. Hull winding up, wanting the puck. Shot in. Deflected. And Hasek covers. With 28 seconds left to go, Dallas got the puck where they wanted it. Jere Lehtinen was there with Modano.
Boy, you know what? If Sergei Zubov doesn't end up getting hog-tied by this puck, this might be a great scoring chance for the Dallas Stars. But good block there by Wayne Primo. Then it was up for for grabs over on the side. Mike Modano got to it. When he got it back to Sergei Zubov, watch this. He lost it in his skates. Whoop, whoop, where is it? And that took a little bit of time away. When he finally got it, he drifted it to the front. Lehtinen was able to really launch just a weak, harmless backhand. We'll see what happens on this draw. If that last face-off was the biggest one of the series, every time that one of these happens now, they get bigger. Everybody's huddling. I mean, you've got to make so sure everybody knows what they're going to do. Brett Hull is in the shooting hole behind Mike Modano, but nobody is holding up the guys. The guys here are going to try to get to Brett Hull. Nobody is there to block the guys that need to try to get to Brett Hull. It doesn't matter because the Sabres win the draw.
Michael Pekka, big win right there. Modano trying to knock it down. It rolls the length of the ice. They're going to wave off any icing. Sador back to get it. 18 seconds to go in the third period. Game tied at 1. Jere Lehtinen wanted to clear. He got it out of there. Comes back near side. Buffalo gets out of the zone. Schmelik will dump that one in wide. Zubov will play with 8.1 left. They had not cleared. Face-off will come to center. OT, Game 6. We're almost there.
Just about safe to go to the overtime graphics with 8 seconds to go.
Since 1927, 13 teams have won the Stanley Cup in overtime. 1996, the last time, of course. Ewing Krupp had that game-winning goal for Colorado in Florida in the third overtime. 1-1, 8.1 left, 32-26 the shots in favor of Buffalo. Jere Lehtinen, Stu Barnes have the goals. Face-off at center. Both teams will have to rush one here if they're going to try. Matvichuk looking. Matvichuk dumps it into the corner. Not a good play. That will be touched up by Zhitnik. That's an icing call. And with 1.4 seconds left, the faceoff comes back into the Dallas zone. Dominik Hasek will go to the bench. Buffalo will get an extra skater out there with 1.4 left.
Why not? You can't get the puck down the ice in 1.4. 2.4, you might be taking a chance. 1.4, you're not taking a chance. So the net is empty. But with 1.4 seconds, you got a couple of choices. I have seen goals scored with this much time left, but not from drawing the puck back. If you draw back, it's got to be super clean wind, launch a direct shot, a laser to the net.
Pekka's on the forehand side of the draw, so he can try and shoot it on the faceoff.
That's the answer. That is the smart play, is to try to get it one quick shot. You almost have to pick it out of midair. Mind you, Carbonneau is out there, and he's going to try and finally block. Yep, good play by Carbonneau.
And we go to OT. Game 6 will go to overtime as the Buffalo Sabres and the Dallas Stars continue this tenacious battle.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ken Hitchcock is starting Blake Sloan on the right side of Mike Modano. Sloan has only played 8 minutes in the first 60.
Off the near side, we're in overtime. Next goal wins it. If it's Dallas, it's a cup winner. Shot. Jere Lehtinen missed that one wide. Dominik Hasek will hang on. We start the overtime with the shots at 32-26 in favor of Buffalo. Jere Lehtinen has had one of the goals. Barnes the other.
Well, the Dallas Stars, Ken Hitchcock and his staff have not used their bench as evenly as the Buffalo Sabres. Brian Skrudland only played 2 minutes and 56 seconds. That is it. Through regulation. And he sits watching here in OT. The Buffalo Sabres, on the other hand, real even ice time, their entire bench.
Face-off comes to the left side of Dominik Hasek. On the draw, one back into the corner. Sabres will get it there after Wayne Primo came on to win the draw. Schmeling got it up and out of the zone. Hit put on by Hatcher. Freed up Primo, trying to center. Deflected away. Near side boards, intercepted. Cunningham drops it down low. Trying to hit Rasmussen, who was cutting. There's a first chance that goes by the boards right there. Chased down by Zhitnik. Zhitnik around on the touch and icing call. Fastest goal ever scored. Brian Strudlin, who is here tonight. Game 2, 1986. Off the face-off. See ya! 9 seconds into overtime, Montreal a 3-2 win over the Calgary Flames. Brian Strudlin has that record.
His chance to break it has just gone by the wayside because we played 40 seconds here in the first OT.
That's how fast that goal was. You only got time for one move to do it that quickly. Face off left side of Eddie Belfour this time. Off the draw, one back by Nieuwendyk. Zubov will pick that up and start it up ice. Left off the near side boards. Benoit Hogue couldn't control it. Both teams, defensemen will be very careful not to have somebody in the other color uniform get behind them here in this OT. Chipped high off the glass. Played back by Shannon. Shannon turns it into the middle. Zubov got a piece of that. Dallas has to come back into their own end. Sador around far side. Patrick stepped up. Patrick had it. Lost it. Patrick got it back. Centering pass on a 2-on-1 down low, but Sador intercepted. Later around, Bob Claparano lost his stick. So did McKee. Cleared back up. McKee had just vacated that point. Langenbrunner will come the other way with it. Jamie Langenbrunner waiting for help as they're changing it up. Kicked. Little ping pong ball action right there. And McKee gets it back. Both teams changing on the fly here in OT. Left back, Michael Pekka dumps it in, heads to the bench. Matt Tkachuk got back on the puck. Buffalo completing their line change right now. Guy Carbonneau at center. Carbonneau up for Verbeek. Verbeek will play it into the zone. Knocked down by Woolley. Woolley right back through center. Dallas is onside. If they can get it, they can't. Sticks up. And Kevin Collins. Gord Brosiger may have caught that one right in the head.
Yeah, it looks like he's dabbing for blood or bumps or something. Gord Brosiger looks like he's all right. Most of the officials in the NHL have gone to the helmet. The two linesmen, Kevin Collins and Gord Brosiger, are two that have not. There it was. Joey Junot came down with the stick right on the noggin of Gordy Brosiger right there.
Ow. That's why you see officials wearing helmets at times. Pucks flying by them and sticks around their head.
Hey, that's going to leave a mark.
3:27 left in this first overtime. Thanks for being with us, and hope you're loving it. Zhitnik shot it in wide. Belfour got run into a little bit again, but again it was him sticking the backside out. Centering pass, Chambers had it, lost it. They turn to the forehand shot. Belfour knocked it down off Brown. Brown got it on the forehand and got something on it. Comes to the near side free. Zhitnik moving in. Zhitnik tried to pin it in. And a good job by Zhitnik. Intercepted Sloan to Modano, leaves it for Chambers. Chambers working with Hatcher now, the defensive pairing. Kicked off the wall by Modano and out. Sloan was thinking winner. He was already up along the blue line. Modano could not get it to him. And this will be whistled on another icing call with 2:50 left to go.
Just a few icings. How about a lot of icings? That tells you there's no room. Teams are trying to dump it in. They're having trouble even getting the red line. Eddie Belfour with this save just a couple of seconds ago. He was down really low. When the shot came, he jumped up and got it with his shoulder. I think it might have been going over the net anyway, but he didn't want to take a chance.
Eddie Belfour 12-1 in the playoffs when he has a chance to eliminate an opposing team. 2:50 to go in this OT. Dominik Hasek watches, face off Nieuwendyk, kicked at it. Nieuwendyk got it away. Langenbrunner centered right into the crease, but it rolled to the wall. Everybody was down low on that one. Pick back up Zubov. Zubov want to get a patent on that. They come back to the blue. Ahead, Bob Claparano make the heart around reverse direction. Sador's pass intercepted. Vaclav Varada in front. There he is. Varada looking to center. Varada waiting. Zubov moves out on him. Zubov and Varada do battle, and his pass is intercepted. 3-on-2, 4-on-3 the other way. Langenbrunner moving. Tried to center it at it. Blocked. Langenbrunner down on the ice. Knocked away by Ward. What a play by McKee.
Well, I'll tell you what, he had Daryl Sador in a shooting hole behind him, and he fell on the play.
McKee again tying him up behind the net. Centering past Key Carbonneau partially blocked that. Cleared up near side boards, and they'll just get it out of there. Dixon Ward will head to the bench. Both teams on the change. Back up. Keane tipped it in for Carbonneau. A little too far ahead, trying to catch Buffalo coming over the boards. Woolley got back there in time to cover it up. Minute 34 to go in the OT. Shot deflected out in front. Rolls to the high slot. Dallas will clear that one out again. Line changes coming fast and furious. Primo in the middle. Near side Rasmussen. He had it poke checked away. Got to get back on side. Woolley waiting. He did wait long enough. Minute 15 to go in the overtime. Hatcher looking. Guy Carbonneau's line out there. Passed nowhere on that one. As Chitan intercepted. They'll try it again. Up through the middle. Dallas trying to get a line change completed here. 1 minute to go in the OT. Blocked on the shot by Primo. Belfour got it. Is Verbeek. A little room. The legs don't want to go. Verbeek sends it in wide, and they'll whistle that one. Two-liner.
Boy, there's hardly any room at all. I mean, Buffalo's doing a great job of sealing off the Dallas Stars. But this is something the Dallas Stars are used to, playing in overtime. This season it has happened a bunch. Montreal in '93 played 11 overtime games in their march to the Cup. Dallas this year has played 8. St. Louis back in 1968 has played 8. Dallas trails only Montreal in total overtime games. They will not be able to overtake them in this series because even if it goes 7, that means only one more tilt.
Draw coming at center. Madonna won that. Chambers knocked down by Dominic Hasek. McKee goes back in behind the net. 43 seconds left in this first overtime. Here comes Belfour. Look out. Belfour knocked down. Belfour trying to get back. Belfour gets back with his stick. Oh, my. Eddie Belfour got tied up. Chitan had it, lost it to Chambers. Chambers along the boards. Look at the fight, trying to dig to get a little ice here. Here comes Hull. And McKee reached in and poked it onto the Dallas bench.
Well, you got to have the confidence to get out and get the puck. It'd be easy to say, you know what, I'm just going to stay in here and be safe. I don't think that really is in the vocabularies right now of Eddie Belfour or Dominic Hasek. And you know what? Belfour had to make that play. He just got a little off balance making it. Luckily for Eddie Belfour, help came back.
Keep your head on a swivel. Eddie Belfour in this game now has come away with 37 saves. Dominic Hasek, 29. Shots in overtime, 6-4 Buffalo. Down to 11 seconds left to go in the OT. Tipped away, Schmelik in control. Schmelik drops it through Reed for Varada in behind the net. Varada giving chase. Varada tried to center. Hatcher was there on the intercept. Blocked, and we go to a double overtime. Buffalo 6 shots, Dallas 4. There you see playoff overtime goals. Nieuwendyk, Hull, Keane, Carbonneau, Strudlin, a couple, Langenbrunner, and Modano. The overtime goals on that side. 6-4 the shots in the first overtime in favor of Buffalo. Second overtime. I keep repeating because it somehow seems it's easy to forget. Dallas can win the Stanley Cup if they score the next goal.
We haven't even had a chance to talk about possible Conn Smythe. I mean, the game has been so compelling. But the voting is done as long as Dallas wins. If Buffalo wins, the ballots are rehanded out to the 15 writers that are voting, and they get a chance to re-vote after Game 7.
They voted at the end of the third period of this game. Second overtime, we are underway. Played by Hatcher around the far side, Sloan. That was just tipped back out to center. Primo will leave it back. Bounced off the near side boards. Modano left it. A little open room. Yuri Lehtinen. He went for the wide side. Yes, missed. Matvichuk blocked. Matvichuk fell down. Picked up by Primo. Rasmussen with him. Rasmussen in onside. Followed it up himself. Rasmussen had it. Dumped it. Tried to in behind the net. Instead to the point. Shot saved by Belfour. Patrick had joined the play. There he is. Buffalo changing behind it. Right back in by Dixon Moore. Down the middle. Shot save made by Eddie Belfour. That's how Jason Woolley won a game. Coming off the bench. Coming right down the slot. Same kind of shot. Brought in by Patrick. Patrick's got room. Belfour makes the save.
Well, how about this shooting gallery here to start the second OT period, and the gallery and the shooters are coming right at Belfour.
Just the opposite of how the first overtime started. Around for Langenbrunner, tipped it into the middle. Maybe a 2-on-1. Nieuwendyk up. Nieuwendyk with Hogue. His shot deflected into the corner. Shannon was over to get it. Wow. Darryl Shannon just moved up in what was a 2-on-1. Zubov back in his own end. Both teams quick changes. Hogue still up. Hogue feathered that one into the corner. Brian Skrudlin's back out. We were talking during the intermission there about guys missing in action, we thought. They were already back out there, and Skrudlin's one of them. Tipped out to center. Keane didn't see it. Sador did and sent it back. Schmelik looking into the middle, had it blocked. Sent back in by Skrudlin. And dropped off by Dominic Hasek. Back into the middle. Sador will have to give chase on this one, and it will be a nice screw hole. Trying lit in for Primo at Buffalo. Ian Modano. It was full when we started. Here at the Midland Arena, it is still full. Ludwig. Ludwig got it ahead. Gary Lettinen turned it in. Behind the net. Zhitnik came back. Schmelik the loose puck. Schmelik around for Pennyworth. By him. Zubov, they'll wave off the ice. Lettinen, Barnes. Only 2 goals. Lettinen in the first. Barnes tied it up towards the end of the second period. Zubov looking. Modano trying to wind it up a bit. Does. Modano down the middle. Modano dropped it. Near side. Ho, 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 ho! Centered! Blocked! Dominic Hasek. They had a 3-on-2. Not out. Zubov held it in. Loose at center. Back the other way. Dixon Ward. Ward. Centering pass. And a save made by Eddie Belfour. Matvichuk drops it off. Here comes Modano. Hull cutting to the net. Modano, the shot. Save made by Dominic Hasek. Tipped into the corner. Stepping up Reed. Trying to hold it in. Can't. Holzinger. Holzinger. Poke checked away. What a play by Hatcher.
It's amazing how quiet this building gets when Dominic Hasek makes a save. I mean, you can hardly even hear a ooh.
Not many oohs left, I think.
I'll tell you what, fatigue is setting in everywhere.
Reed.
Yuri Lettinen on that last play when he dished over to Brett Hull. Yuri Lettinen was right in the slot, dead center. Had a great chance to shoot, and he passed off to Brett Hull, who was on a sharp angle.
Sador cleared it around. Buffalo changing it up. Couldn't be handled by Reed. And Patrick will touch it up. 4:01 to go in the second overtime.
Well, the goaltending just won't let up. Magnificent at both ends. Eddie Belfour of the Dallas Stars, Dominic Hasek of the Buffalo Sabres. What an incredible duel. One of the few bits of open ice from Mike Modano in the last 3 periods. He dropped to Lettinen. There's the shot for Lettinen. Instead, he passed. Brett Hull looked. There was nothing there, folks. He was looking for something, and he couldn't see anything. Very patient by Dominic Hasek. You know that Brett Hull wanted Dominic Hasek to make the first move. Hasek wouldn't. Then the play came down. Eddie Belfour had to make a tough save on a little squibber that came through traffic.
I mean, those goaltenders, Bill, here in the second overtime, the shots are 13-10 in favor of Dallas. There are the saves on the game. Mercy, what a gallery this has been here in this second overtime. Brown turned it back into the middle. Shot save, Belfour on Barnes. Another great chance. 3:46 to go in the second OT. Patrick. Up the near side, Barnes. Brought it in onside. Poke checked away. Cleared out of the zone by Verbeek. Guy Carbonneau. Carbonneau, McKee in front of him. Carbonneau wants to center. McKee rode him into the boards. Puck still there, though. Sanderson, Keane, McKee, Carbonneau. Poke checked away. Zubov took a chance, stepped up, held it in. Right back to Carbonneau, though, and Buffalo wants it out. This will be an icing call. There was an afternoon baseball game, AAA, the Bisons, about 5 blocks away. Then after the game, they invited fans to stay. A couple of bucks. You get to watch the game on the big screen. Money goes to charity.
Well, if the Bisons are playing an afternoon game today,
They got a big crowd.
there may be a traffic jam.
It's 20 minutes to 1 here on the East Coast. Those are the fans still there. Hang with them. Hang with them.
Yeah. All right, so the attendance is a little sparse in the outfield seats.
Well, you can't see the screen if you're in the outfield.
Oh, boy.
They got the extra inning numbers up there on that scoreboard.
You bet.
Here at the Marine Midland Arena just down the street. We've got 3:13 to go in the second OT. Mike Modano won the faceoff, then kicked away into the corner. Schmelik. Sabres get it out. Patrick's on the right side joining the play here. And Rasmussen a chance. Save made. Rebound. Primo fell down. Centering pass out of the zone. Cunninghworth. Belfour. Whistle. Offside.
Man, Daryl Sador wants an intentional offside. That would take the faceoff down to Dominic Hasek's hand. Erik Rasmussen could have been a hero. Boy, what a shot he launched. Check this out. Bang! Eddie Belfour couldn't control the rebound, but Sergei Zubov was able to hang in there. What a great job by Zubov. What a game he has played. Rasmussen got all of this one. Eddie Belfour could see it, though. It was just coming too hard for him to control the rebound. And Zubov just stayed with it until he was able to chip it out. Sergei Zubov got to be up to almost an hour of ice time, doesn't he?
Yeah, he had 40 plus. Going into the second overtime. Matvichuk of the red dumped it ahead. Benoit Hogue. Back to get it is Shannon. Shannon couldn't get it out. Neuendijk waiting. Whistled. Hit with a high stick. Bear in mind, Eddie Belfour, remember, has a bad back that he has to work on 2 hours before, 2 hours after, and during the game he stays down there, and when the whistles he stretches and stretches. I mean, this is really, it's hard enough for him in a regular 3 periods of play to go into OT. That back can act up. You play through it right now.
Boy, and I think Eddie Belfour has made most of the difficult saves look easy. I think that's how much he's in control. That's not to say they're not going to get one by him, but he is absolutely in the zone.
Hatcher will flip that one into the zone. 2:30 left to go here in the second OT. Shannon drops it back. Room on the far side. And this could be an icing call, but it won't be. With touch-up. Matvichuk had to come back and play it. Puck loose along the side. Hogue to Neuendijk. Neuendijk got around one. Neuendijk tipped it into the middle. Knocked away. Dixon Ward got it out. Matvichuk back. He and Hatcher teamed up here. Both teams changing it up on the fly. Dallas, you know out there what each player keeps saying to himself. It's for the cup. It's for the cup. It's for the cup. Right here, right now. Buffalo, it's game 7. Game 7. 1 goal. Game 7. Near side, deflected behind the net. Juno gave chase. Hatcher got it around. Verbeek trying to clear. Didn't get it out the first time. Into the middle. Turn around. Jeff Sanderson looking. Sanderson wanted help. Got it shot. That was wide. Jason Woolley came charging. Tipped in front. Woolley had a shot and didn't get it on net. Look out here. Pass got by the D. Chance. Could be. Carbonneau had it blocked into the corner. Woolley came back. Mike Keane doing battle. Keane trying to get it away. Guy Carbonneau centered. Back up Sador. Sador turning to the middle. Into the corner. Woolley back to get it. All the chances. Both teams changing. And an icing call here.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the Sabres weren't even pressured there and they iced it. You don't want to do that. We know that both teams have been able to rely on their centers and their face-off schemes to make sure that they didn't cost themselves anything. But that was an unforced icing by the Buffalo Sabres with 1:04 to go. Dallas Stars were changing. You could even hear people yelling time. But before that, Guy Carbonneau tried the shot. He fanned on it. He absolutely fanned on that shot. I didn't see that on the original, but Jason Woolley didn't have to make that tough a block. Dallas Stars average age 30.6 years. The 67 Maple Leafs averaged 31.4. The only Cup winner ever older than the Dallas Stars.
Wonder how many birthdays we celebrated in this game. Drop back. Modano won another draw. Zubov wants a shot. Can't find it. Sends it dangerously across that blue line intended for Sador. Sador's pass intercepted. Back down the middle. Brown. Brown taken down. We've not had any call in the overtime. You're not going to get one there. Sloan moved it to Modano. Modano coming. Modano to Nieuwendyk. Shot. That one deflected. Here, Lettinen the chance. Over is Sloan. Sloan with 37 seconds to go in the second overtime. That will go over the glass.
Another face-off. Dominik Hasek's complaining. He's trying to convince Terry Gregson that the puck bounced off the Dallas stick and into the stands. Hey, Dominik doesn't like these face-offs any more than any of his other teammates. 32.1 to go here in the second overtime. Check this out. 3 teams have won the Stanley Cup in multiple overtime games. 96 Colorado, 50 Detroit, the 1934 Chicago Blackhawks, 2 overtimes.
32.1 left. There's time here for either team, especially Dallas with a face-off in the offensive zone. Nieuwendyk could not win that one against Michael Peca. McKee from behind the net. Cleared it up. Loose at center. Vaclav Arada dropped it. Comes to the near side. He tried to hit Dixon Ward who was cutting. Peca moved up. Shot by him. McKee will give chase. Icing call.
Look at this. Now the Sabres get a chance in Dallas's end. With lots of time. 14 seconds to go.
Our new Dodge intermission report will be upcoming. Assuming we run off another 14.2 seconds here in this second overtime.
Well, Buffalo has been better than Dallas here in the second OT period. They have won 12 faceoffs to Dallas' 6. They need one clean one here with a good shot. Boy, oh boy. What a game 6. What a game 6. To those of you who have been with us since the beginning of this game, thanks for sticking with us. We know you're enjoying it.
Guy Carbonneau against Brown. Jason Woolley back along the near side boards at the point. That's where he tried to draw it back to. That's where it comes to. Woolley's got a shot. Couldn't get it off. Vaclav Arada does, but it's blocked to the near side. 7 to go in the second OT. Into the corner, Verada. Verada trying to center Shatan. Guy Carbonneau wouldn't let him go through. Guy Carbonneau blocked the centering pass. We go to triple overtime.
Yeehaw!
Hasek, we played so long in this game. Dominik Hasek now has a shutout of 91 minutes and 51 seconds.
It's a game and a half. A game and a half ever since Jere Lettinen scored on him in the first period. Well, there have been some chances. The goaltending has been fantastic. In the first overtime period, Buffalo Sabres with a deflection that Eddie Belfour had to be so quick on. Second overtime period, James Patrick, bing! Stu Barnes with a good shot that Eddie Belfour was able to get his trapper on. Squib by. There have been scoring chances in the OTs at both ends.
Mike Modano and Stu Barnes each have 7 shots on goal in this game. Sergei Zubov has played 48-21 as we go to the third overtime. Dallas scores and they win the Stanley Cup. Third OT. There is Mike Modano. Modano gunned it through everybody. They'll wave off the icing. Dominik Hasek saying, you got to play it, guys. That was Sloan who came in. Centering pass, Jere Lettinen. Lettinen had a shot blocked. Good play by Zhitnik, who got a piece of that one. Sabres back the other way. Both teams. Oh, that was whistled offside. Both teams are going to try and wrap this up right now.
Well, the Dallas Stars have had a couple of great scoring chances in overtime as well in the second overtime period. Pat Verbeek parked right in front of Dominik Hasek, and if he could have gotten that puck a little bit elevated, he might have ended it. Brett Hall and a feed from Jere Lettinen. Hasek gave him nothing, Everybody vacated the front of the net that was dressed in green. So when Hull jumped it in front, nobody was there. But Pat Verbeek has to still be thinking about that chance here. I mean, this is such a challenge for focus. When if you miss something like that, you've got to get it out of your head immediately and come back out and play as if you're just starting a brand new game.
And he did that after he had that chance. Near side, Dominik Hasek played it up. Backed out of the zone by Dixon Ward. Vaclav Barada gets some ice time here as Pekka dumped it in. He's been on Michael Pekka's line. Pekka could not get it back to him. Langenbrunner got a piece of that. And looks like this is going to be an icing call. We're just underway. Period number 3. Terry Gregson, one of our referees tonight, had a little conversation a few moments ago with Mike Modano about just how early it is Sunday morning.
I wish somebody'd end the suspense here. Man. 2 bags of IV, I'm ready to go.
Took an IV and I'm ready to go.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
They must be getting hooked up with the IVs in the locker room to make sure that they don't run dry.
Terry Gregson going, why didn't we think of that?
Yeah, send them over to the refs room.
Face-off one back to Chambers from Guy Carbonneau. Sador around for Mike Keane. Keane tipped it away. Carbonneau back to get it. This is not the longest game this playoff year. Dallas had a longer one. Joe Nieuwendyk had a game-winning goal against Edmonton. It was 57-34 of overtime. Look at that hop. Guy Carbonneau turns around right on the side of the net. Dominik Hasek takes a deep breath on that one.
No kidding, because Guy Carbonneau caught it all on that spin-around shot. It was a real sharp angle, but we know anything's possible. We saw Yuri Letnin score on an impossible angle in the first period. Dominik Hasek's got a little stretch going there, holding on to the top of the crossbar. There it is. I mean, Hasek wasn't square to Carbonneau at all. Dominik Hasek let this go. That was kind of curious that he let it go. And as James Patrick was fought off by Guy Carbonneau, the shot came so quickly that Dominik Hasek looked like he was even leaning this way.
Mike Modano will take another face-off to the right side of Dominik Hasek. 50-44 the shots in favor of Buffalo. And that one will be one back on the face-off. Schmelik got it around the boards. And the attempted clear came right back from the Schmelik. Finally up to Brown, and Brown clears it out. Zubov dumps it off the far side for Hull, and Brett Hull will send that one in. Sergei Zubov, more ice time than anyone else in this game, except the goaltenders and the officials. Brought back in by Barnes. Knocked away. Cleared back along the far side wall. Modano made a move. Modano got it back to Hull. Oh, shot was blocked. Hull trying to center, had it deflected away. Shednick was there on Hull. Brown Hull down from behind. No penalties called in the first 2 overtime. This has been a virtual penalty-free game. Buffalo Sabres have had 2 and the Dallas Stars 2, and those were way back in regulation. Out to center on the tip pass intended for Reed, who had to come back to get it. Couldn't get it up ice. Back over for Nieuwendyk. He gets tied up, chipped it away to Reed. Reed trying to move around the D can. Flipped up and again out to center. Line changes are quick and very short shifts. Played by Zubov. Zubov up the glass, not out. Vaclav Barada held it in. Barada does battle over there. Zubov reach again. Shannon fell down, along with a couple of others. Still not out of the zone here for Dallas. Now they're clear. Dallas trying to get a little room. Langenbrunner up. Langenbrunner dropped it in. Almost Nieuwendyk. Nieuwendyk didn't get a stick on it. Shot deflected on a no-angle shot from the far side. Langenbrunner gunned that one in, headed to the bench. Keane on the near side had it. Guy Carbonneau trying to send it in. Matvichuk a shot. That goes off Shen and whistled offside anyway. 3rd overtime. Let's check in with Darren Pang. Darren.
Thanks very much, Gary. You know, I talked to Brett Hull earlier this morning and wondered if his father, the great legendary Golden Jet Bobby, would be here in attendance, and hopes that Brett Hull would wrap up his first Stanley Cup championship. Brett Hull very focused. No, I don't want to deal with the distractions. Nothing against family. No distractions, no tickets. I looked around in amazement at these guys so worried about tickets coming here. He said, I want to enjoy this and enjoy it myself.
There he is, and he's had a couple of chances in this game.
Sure has. And he's really platooned with Blake Sloan in overtime on the right side with Mike Modano and Yuri Letnin.
Sador sent it in. Dominik Hasek got trouble with that. Guy Carbonneau came back. He was covered up by Jason Woolley and cleared out of the zone by Shatan. Sador back in his zone in. Quickly clears it out. Guy Carbonneau. Carbonneau turns it back in. Carbonneau looking. Carbonneau to Verbeek. Verbeek trying to line it up. Shot. That one went wide. Mike Keane followed it up. Center. Block. Verbeek again. Tipped it. Dominic Hasek knocked it away with a blocker on the first attempt. Behind the net. Patrick. Carbonneau. Verbeek. Mike Keane in the corner. Keane sends it to Verbeek. Verbeek looking. Keane cutting. Carbonneau looking for Keane. Shot deflected. He tried to hit Keane. Keane gets pinned up, knocked down. Cleared out. Pass back to the line. Belfour out to play. Over to Chambers. Chambers up the boards. Verbeek tipped it away. Sent right back in by Zhitnik. Chambers is there. Dallas trying to get a line change here. They got to get it up ice though. It is so hard to keep those legs moving. You saw Chambers. They just wouldn't go. Back into the middle on the deflection. Zhitnik will pick it up. Drop deeper into the zone. Again, Belfour back. Had Cunningworth coming, but he put it over his stick. Spun around in the corner and out to center. Zhitnik again. Sloan right in front of him. Buffalo Sabres complete their line change. Modano moving up on the check. 4.5 minutes in. Rasmussen down. Rasmussen a shot. Belfour save. This is now the third longest game in finals history. And he has added an assist on the Dallas goal here tonight. Back is Ludwig. 42-56 on the ice. Jere Lehtinen. Lehtinen moved it in. Cunningworth took him down. Played around the near side boards. At the point, Zubov. Zubov stepped up and gunned at the far side. Rasmussen. Brett Hull moved in on him. Back it comes. Zhitnik. Zhitnik, the cross ice. Rasmussen knocked it down. Belfour plays it far side. Sador. Sador just got it out of the zone. Buffalo's got to get back onside. They do. Randy Cunningworth. Cunningworth a shot. Belfour save and hangs on.
Good play by Erik Rasmussen. He went right for Belfour to force him to hang on. And now the Sabres will get a face-off down on Eddie Belfour's end of the ice. It's hard to imagine the way these goaltenders have played that anybody's going to score, ever.
Don't say that.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. Somebody will score. 11:25 left to go in the third overtime. 53-45. The shots. Buffalo, the advantage. Dominic Hasek has extended his shutout streak to over 100 minutes. All in this game. Belfour is creeping up on him. Off the draw, Michael Pekka won it. Hatcher picked it up. Benoit Hogue, Nieuwendyk, and Langenbrunner together. Nieuwendyk tipped it in. Wrong side of the red, though. Icing called in. This point of the night, mighty tough to connect on passes.
It sure is, and it's mighty tough to get any forecheck going. I mean, the defensemen are holding people up, and you're not going to see a call for obstruction. I mean, the only kind of call you would see is somebody takes a whack of a stick in the face and is bleeding like a stuck pig. Other than that, and I really think that the refs have done a fantastic job. And you know what? There might have been one or two calls that could have been made in overtime if this were a regular season game or if it wasn't overtime. But other than that, both teams have played it hard. They've played it straight. Bill McCreary and Terry Gregson haven't had to look the other way, but maybe once or twice in all these overtime minutes.
You're right. Pretty amazing that that's the way it's been played here. There hasn't been one type of vicious shot taken at all. Nothing even remotely close. Nieuwendyk won another draw. Played around the near side, not up. Dixon Ward down low. Michael Pekka tried to line up, couldn't get it. Reed left it in the middle. Intercepted there. McKee again. McKee off the boards and tried, but it ended up in the penalty box.
Well, Dave Reed is out there on the left side with Joe Nieuwendyk, but Benoit Hogue is the other guy that's been platooning on the left side. Hogue getting a little equipment adjustment. You talk about the Stanley Cup being important to certain players, especially the guys that have never won it like Benoit Hogue. He is going to have knee surgery when this season is over. Everybody thought he would have it when he was hurt earlier in the playoffs. He said, no, if there's any chance I can come back and play and delay the surgery, I will. But here's the kicker. He's an unrestricted free agent. Because he's having his surgery after the playoffs, he won't be back until October, maybe November, maybe December of next year. Who's going to sign him? This morning he said, you know what, the Stanley Cup is priceless. I'll worry about free agency after this season.
Amazing. Into the corner, Sador, Barnes, and out of the zone. Benoit Hogue coming back with that bad left knee. He missed 9 games in the playoffs, playing in the last 2. 10:34 to go, third overtime. Here in Buffalo, Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals, where the Dallas Stars, with one more goal, will be the 98-99 Stanley Cup champions. Or Buffalo sends it to a Game 7.
Well, we wondered if Sergei Zubov was creeping closer to an hour of ice time. I don't think I've ever seen anybody with an hour of ice time in a hockey game, no matter how long it lasted. Have to go back to the triple OT that Boston played against Edmonton in the late 80s. Or was that 1990? But Ray Borton plays enough that he might have played an hour, but Zubov's creeping up.
Boy. And Primo, Modano on the draw with him. Won it to Yuri Lehtinen. Lehtinen pinned up in the corner. Schmelik not letting him loose. Sloan came in. Just trickled that one inside of the net. Cunningworth off the near side. Here comes Rasmussen, tied up by Zubov. Sador played it back out. Sloan cutting the other way. Backed it in, hit the official with it. Yuri Lehtinen. Lehtinen's got Modano in the middle. Backhand shot side of the net. Yuri Lehtinen again. Mike Modano back on top. Zubov. His shot deflected by Sloan wide. Rasmussen picks it up, clears. Randy Cunningworth's got it. Cunningworth, good pass, Primo. Primo spun around. Primo off the board. Zubov there, kicked it away. Almost a break. Not quite. That was held in. Ripped wide by Cunningworth, and Belfour will cover.
Boy, that wasn't almost. That keep at the blue line by Daryl Shannon. Well, this was something that the Buffalo Sabres were hopeful would really fire them up. The Dallas Stars have, if not the Stars, then the city has planned the parade route for the Stanley Cup parade, which would take place Monday if Ken Hitchcock's guys can wind this thing up tonight.
Tomorrow. The parade would be.
Tomorrow tonight. Please excuse us if we're getting our todays and tomorrows mixed up here.
Got to start putting the roadblocks up just in case. Face off to the left side, and Nieuwendyk won another one. The total number of face-offs in this game, astronomical. 4,000. 4,000. And it'll be Buffalo back in their own zone. McKee came back to get it. 9:25 left to go in the third overtime. Nieuwendyk dropped it off. Langerbrunner tipped it into the corner. Played around by Michael Pekka. And Vaclav Barada had it banged off the boards there. Sent back through center ice. A little bit of room. Pekka moves in. Dropped it off. Near side Ward right through the crease. Belfour reached out and got a piece of that. Teams will change it up again. Langenbrunner waiting near side. Not long enough. Offside.
Boy, and guys are really trying to force the play too. Fatigue plus the fact that both of these teams are dying for the OT winner. We've seen a number of offsides. They've been close, but the wingers are really forcing it. Really trying to force the issue. Makes it really tough for the puck carrier now. Well, we were wrong on the 4,000 faceoffs. There have only been 136. Only.
There's Joe Nieuwendyk. We mentioned he was to get the goal here. 2 players who scored 3 overtime goals in the playoff season. Hill, Henri Richard, Mel Hill, Boston, Henri Richard. And that one will be covered up by Belfour.
This ends up going 7 games. The folks that have to get there that are involved in the award ceremonies that are connected to these 2 teams.
Turn around after this. Brought back up by Yuri Lehtinen. He sent it in. And And that will be whistled as Dave Reed had jumped ahead through center ice offside.
Another example of the Dallas Stars just forcing a little too much, trying to find some open ice. It's not there, and it's tough to create something that isn't there.
8:37 left in the third OT. Amazing here. I mean, there is hardly an empty seat. I mean, in part you understand that, obviously the importance of this game, but I mean, you look around here, everybody has stayed. And it is 25 minutes after 1 here in Buffalo. Shot back in by Sador. Off the near side boards, Jere Lehtinen then tied up in the corner. Reed came in to help. Lehtinen will give chase on the far side. Madonna trying to get free in the slot. Dave Reed. Reed has to try and come back through a hockey stick. Stuck in his midsection there. Dump back out to center, and Sador will play it. Sador with Chambers. Reed tried to tip it to Madonna. Went in the zone. Madonna fighting through it. Madonna. Lehtinen. Primo dropped it off. Mike Keane just out on the ice. Keane looking shot. Knocked away. Dominik Hasek. Rebound Keane. Keane trying to jam it in. Still loose. Rebound shot. That deflected in the corner. Jere Lehtinen found it. Tried to shoot it in over the pack and couldn't get it through. Centered again for Keane. He tried to go back to the backhand. Could not get it. Held in by Hatcher. Hatcher. Dallas trying to get the Stanley Cup right here. Far side, it is Rasmussen. Buffalo needs the clear. They'll get it because Dallas has got to change it up. Brought back up Rasmussen. L4 off the stick into the seats.
Boy, the Dallas Stars just couldn't get the puck cleanly onto Dominik Hasek because of the crowd in front. Mike Keane had a poke at it. Jere Lehtinen had a poke at it. But it looked like just a forest of legs. Look at this crowd out there. Now, nobody could get a clean shot at it for Dallas. It was in the pile. Jere Lehtinen pulled it out behind the pile. Still don't think the puck ever got to Hasek. We might see here from our goal cam look. Dominik Hasek went down, stacked him, had a chance to get back up, get a stick. I'm not sure any puck even got to him on that play. Wow. Jere Lehtinen, though, has had jump. He had jump in the first, second, and third periods, and I'll tell you, he looks like he's still going strong.
2 goals last 5 games, including the one tonight for Jere Lehtinen. Ludwig over around the hit. Up along that far side wall. Sloan got it in the skate. Brown came away with it, dropped it off. Big time D by Zubov. What a positioning play by Zubov. Verbeek tipped it away to center. Zubov, with all that ice time, still doing the things that are hard to do in a 3-period game. Fighting guys off, getting the body in position. He'll flip that one out of the zone. Tried to hit Verbeek on the cut. They try to drop that out to center, spring somebody loose. Here comes Sanders in the other way. Poke checked away from him to center. Shannon over to get it. Buffalo clears the zone. Sloan, Carbonell, Sloan tipped it back into the middle. Verbeek. Verbeek has had 3-4 chances in this game in the overtime to win it. Knocked away by Barnes off the high stick. I'll say one thing. We have done what the American Medical Association has asked us all to do, and that's drink at least 8 glasses of water a day.
Well, unfortunately, my health is in jeopardy because I haven't been able to go to the bathroom yet.
You know why? Isn't it always true everywhere in a public place? It's usually the ladies' room we have the backup.
Right.
But in sports, you have all of the writers who are generally male. So
Sure.
it's the men's room here. Those are not my cups.
Look at that. Oh, baby.
6:32 remaining. Nieuwendyk won the draw. Shot Matvichuk. Hasek wants to play it off, even though Benoit Hogue was there. Play by Shannon as he cut hold up. Nieuwendyk held it in. Shot was blocked by Michael Pekka. Dixon Ward. Reed will go into the corner. No icing here. Reed around near side for Langenbrunner. Didn't get to it. Push back deep. Claparata tied up by Reed. Dixon Ward chipped it away again. Hatcher can't get to it. Right up on the dasher. Knocked down. Centering pass. Played back up for Langenbrunner. McKee will dump that one in again. Dave Reed comes back to get it. Reed around the near side. Buffalo changing. The swing open. Langenbrunner chips it into the corner. Schmelik and Zhitnik together again on D. Joey Shuno. Nice feather pass at center. Shatan. That one will go over the glass.
Looks like it's even getting tough for the off-ice officials in the penalty box. He's bleeding.
Puck went up and over the glass and into the boards.
No problem, though. He's getting an ice bag on. Well, he looks like he's got a pretty good cut there. Well, number 2 now for the length of this game. All-time final games. 1990 Edmonton against Boston is number 1. And we are now number 2. And I think we get a plaque or something for that. Unlike the Stanley Cup, it's pretty hard to drink out of a plaque.
Careful what you wish for. You might get it. Off the face-off. It will be Joey Shuno, the intercept. Hall. Gary Lettman had it knocked away. Turned back into the middle. Dominik Hasek came up. Pope checked it away. Chambers trying to line it up back for Hall. Hall drops it. Modano. Gary Lettman. Brett Hull on this line for the Dallas Stars. Just by Hull. Shot. Gary Lettman. Hull. Loose puck. Hull. Shot. Star. The Dallas Stars. Brett Hull. They've won the Stanley Cup. Deep in the heart of Texas. The Stars are shining. The Dallas Stars with 5:09 to go in the third period. For the first time in their franchise history have won the Stanley Cup. And none other than Brett Hull gets the game-winning goal.
What an amazing finish to an incredible hockey game. The Dallas Stars, Stanley Cup champions. The Dallas Stars, Stanley Cup champions. I didn't think the Dallas Stars would ever generate an in-close chance again against Dominik Hasek in this game. But Brett Hull and Mike Modano seem to both be there banging away at it. And Brett Hull has ended the hockey season. And they might even be standing around hugging each other crying right now. Mike Modano, Joe Nieuwendyk, Mike Keane, Brett Hull, all in that tight hug right there.
Dean Carbonneau has won his 3rd cup. Mike Keane has won his 3rd cup with 3 different teams. Chambers, Lidster, Nieuwendyk, Strudlin, Zubov, and Ludwig all win their 2nd cups. Dominik Hasek of the Buffalo Sabres looking up and watching the replay of this.
Here's how it ended. Brett Hull was alone, but he couldn't get it the first time. Mike Modano came in to help. Brett Hull had the rebound staring right at him, and he was able to bang it home. A pretty good play by Holzinger to save it the first time, but Holzinger skated through. Jay McKee couldn't get there in time, and the Dallas Stars, who worked so hard, had to work so long tonight in Game 6 to get their first Stanley Cup.
Okay, you're okay.
And now the tradition, after all of this, they will line up and shake hands. Eddie Belfour, that played more games as a goaltender in playoff action than anyone without winning a cup. That is gone. Guy Carbonneau, 3 Stanley Cups now. The huge playoff year.
Here, Ken Hitchcock made it all the way over to the far side of the ice to embrace his players. He was against the far boards, all the way across from the bench.
And Eddie Belfour has gotten over the hump.
The naysayers are now silenced. I always felt Eddie Belfour was capable of winning a Stanley Cup, but he had to get by Grant Fuhr, Patrick Roy, and Dominik Hasek to get his Stanley Cup, and boy, did he earn it.
Joe Nieuwendyk, a magnificent series. Huge goals, including coup overtime game winners. But Eddie Belfour is going to finish having given up just 1 goal in this game, making 53 saves.
It would be wrong if Eddie Belfour did not win the Conn Smythe for the MVP. Eddie Belfour's had kind of a stormy relationship with a lot of the media, and I hope nobody is biased
Stars have won it. The Buffalo Sabres receiving the ovation.
Gary, I'm here with Mike Pekka. Mike, that is one of the most unbelievable games I think any of us have ever seen. Your thoughts about what happened here tonight?
Well, we're still in a bit of shock. It's pretty hard to talk about things right now. The whole series has been a great battle, and it's a first-class organization that won today. But we thought we did a lot of things right today to give ourselves a chance.
The passion and intensity in this series and in the entire playoffs was absolutely magnificent. Is it more than you expected it was going to be?
No, it's I think right up the avenue everybody expected. Both teams, very determined and strong in the defensive play, and it carries over the rest of the game. And it was a hard-fought series, and we wish we had a better feat.
Congratulations on just a super effort.
Thank you.
Let's go over to Darren Pang.
Hey, Joey, it's been 10 years since you last won the Stanley Cup. Do you remember what it felt like then and what it feels like right now?
Well, I know it was special then, but this is really special. It was such a hard-fought playoff all the way through, and this game in particular. Man, we got nothing left, and they got nothing left, and thank God it's over.
6 game-winning goals, tied to an NHL record with Joe Sakic. Your play was remarkable.
Well, I think the whole team, we battled hard as a unit. We got a lot of guys injured playing for us, and I'm just so happy. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Good work, Joe. Way to go. Gary Thornton, back to you, buddy.
All right, Darren. We're going to get the Conn Smythe Award presented here first. Of course, the Stanley Cup is coming. The MVP award is the Conn Smythe Award. That will be announced downstairs. Game-winning goal, 14:51. Let's go to the PA announcer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman to present the Conn Smythe Trophy to the 1999 Stanley Cup Playoffs Most Valuable Player.
Suck it up. Nowhere, baby.
The winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy from the Dallas Stars and Cornell University, Joe Nieuwendyk.
Smythe, 10 of his 11 playoff goals either tied or gave the Stars the lead. There is Brett Hull, who got the game winner here tonight in this third overtime, and there's your Conn Smythe MVP award winner, Joe Nieuwendyk. Let's get down to Brian Engel. Brian.
Gary, I'm here with Ken Hitchcock. Ken, over 20 years ago, you're selling sporting goods equipment. Then your coaching career starts. Everything was pointed to this minute. Was it worth it?
Well, it was really worth it. It was such an endurance test. But I'm so proud of this team. We reached every goal that we set for. That's just unbelievable. And I said this from Christmas on. This is a magical team. We might have more talent someday, who knows, but not this type of team. This is a magical team. I don't know if I'll ever get the privilege to coach one like this again.
Congratulations. This is a Stanley Cup winner, Ken Hitchcock. Gary?
All right, thanks very much. Now, of course, the presentation of the Stanley Cup is going to take place. This is what you play for all these months. Let's go downstairs.
The brakes are coming and playing for us at the air. It's a lot. Great job.
There's a Conn Smythe winner. Bob Gainey.
That's awesome.
Bob Gainey won the Conn Smythe Award back in '79 for Montreal Canadiens. Now the GM, Dallas Stars, will put this team together.
Ever the understated classic.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
hockey
the Stanley Cup.
Stars have worked so hard for it. The 106-year-old tradition continues here tonight. 953 players in 106 years have had their names inscribed on the Stanley Cup. The Dallas Stars, in franchise history, now have their chance for the first time.
I got here with Eddie. Do you want to go? Okay, you got to get the cup.
All shined up.
It was a spectacular series. Let's first congratulate Buffalo Sabres on a great season. The Dallas Stars put together an incredible run. Congratulations to Tom Hicks, Jim White, Bob Gainey, Ken Hitchcock, the entire organization. It was fabulous. This is the most revered trophy and the toughest to win in all sports. I'm proud to present it to the captain of the Dallas Stars, Derian Hatcher.
You escape the cup. And boy, there's probably just enough left in those Dallas Stars legs to do it.
I don't know. The energy kind of comes down through your hands from the cup. And by the time the energy from the cup gets to your legs, for at least a couple of minutes, you feel like you could play another couple of overtime periods.
Second oldest team, as we mentioned earlier, ever to win the Cup. 67 Maple Leafs. A bit older. Stars 30.6, Leafs 31.4 average years. Talk about it looks like a genius move. Picking up Brett Hull, believing he was going to be the missing link to help win the Stanley Cup in Dallas, and lo and behold, triple overtime, he gets the game-winning goal.
Well, you heard Ken Hitchcock say that this seemed as if it were a magical team after Christmas. May just be right. Everything worked. All of the pieces fell into place for the Dallas Stars.
Should give you the goal officially. 14:51. Brett Hull scored it. His third of the series, 8th of the playoffs, and 77th of his career. Mike Modano and Jere Lehtinen picked up the assists on the Stanley Cup winner. They are the Dallas Stars.